sojourners of truth. I greet you all in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth in this divine energy essence of it all. Happy new moon in Libra, which is my sun sign. But for those of us who know, we know that that's not what it's all about, right? Your sun sign is not really the fullness of you. For those of you who know your natal chart, it has a lot to do with your moon sign. What is your moon sign? What is your stellium? Do you have any stelliums in your chart? Because I can guarantee you, whatever that stellium is, you have more of that in you. Meaning, if you have more planets in a particular house, if you have about three or more placements in a particular house, you are probably more of that sign. Ashe. And as much, even though I am a sun sign Libra, I only have like one or two planets in Libra. Everything else, I'm so Virgo. I'm a Virgo stellium. Moon, everything Virgo. And the moon is your innermost part. Anyhow, I guess spirit just took it there. Peace, love, and light to you all. Happy new moon. I'm out here in my meditation. This was not supposed to be the video I did, but it is because it's happening right now. So welcome to those of you who are going to be coming through, who's here now, who's going to be here later, because we know time is simultaneous. So whatever time is the now time for you, welcome. Welcome, my blue jays, my birds flying in and coming through as I sit out here with nature. 2D consciousness is saying hello to you. Say hello to the wisdom in the wind as it speaks to you through the truth. Ashe. So with that said, there's a lot. I was getting some messages. I'm sitting here, so I'm just going to share with you. This is more like a channeled awareness. I don't really do this much. I'm sitting here and this channeling and this information, and so whatever is coming is coming. I have my crystals. I had my sage lit, so I was just in my own space, in my own energy, particularly with my fluorite, which I'm going to share that with you for those who are wanting to activate their root, their heart, from the heart to the upper chakras. You may want to work particularly with the fluorite. So thank you, wisdom. You're here with me in all the elements, the light codes from the sun, the wind codes from the wind, the atmospheric energy, and the earth codes from the earth that I am grounding in, and the water is in the air all around us as we breathe it in. Ashe. And the water is in you, and we are in a grand water trine right now during this new moon in Libra. It is a very tight grand water trine with three, and a trine is the three placements in a particular house with those elements. Ashe, because there are three elements in each. There are four elements, but there are three houses in each element. So for those who don't know what a trine is, when you hear that trine, that's what they're talking about. So what is this trine during this new moon? Is Mars and Mercury in Scorpio, and Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is also in Scorpio, and we're going to talk about that some more. I definitely want to do a video about what is happening in the house that we're about to enter into now. And I've been talking about this particular month for months ago. This is a retrograde month. This is a very interchangeable, transitional month that we're coming into. But let me keep it on what is coming up right now. And this grand trine is Mars and Scorpio and Lilith inside of, Mars and Mercury inside of Scorpio. The other water element is Cancer, so Jupiter in Cancer, and the other water element is Pisces, so Saturn in Pisces, and I believe Neptune just dipped its little toe back into 29 degrees of Pisces, and this is a last call for alcohol type of return, because this is the last time that Saturn and Neptune is going to be dipping back into Pisces before it heads full-fledged forward into Aries. And we will never see this again for the next 100 and something years, particularly with Neptune, because it takes about 150 or 60 something years to cycle through. So this is a very big deal, what's happening. There's so much more information. I have to give this in pieces, as well as it has to do with our cosmic messenger 3i Atlas. But let me give you the channel message for right now. I want to give you exactly as what was coming up as I sat here connecting into my earth chakra, connecting to my guides, my spiritual teams, particularly speaking through my spiritual team, my galactic family, starseed family, Blue Light Council, all those that I had been speaking to and opened up the portal for. And the message that came was this. Um, it has to do with the particular energies that we misinterpret. They were letting me know that there is information that gets lost in translation through our misinterpretations, through how we misinterpret. And the reason why it's really important to speak on this, because this is why ones must understand why it's so important to process a lot of unhealed wounds. This is a huge step that a lot of people want to skip, and for so many reasons. um, they want us to understand and know why it is really important to do the shadow work, to face the things that are coming up right now, particularly right now, because this new moon kind of brings up the energy of, especially with the trines and the different aspects that we have, a lot of emotions are being brought to the forefront right now. Thank you, Bird. Spiritual thoughts are saying, get it done. The Blue Jays, which represent communication and faith, are asking us to open that communication in great faith. And with that said, there were two, as I speak on faith, there were two cards that came up as I was just sitting here shuffling before. I wasn't even ready yet, but the spirits were ready because cards just started flying. So I have particular two cards that have to do with communication. And I'm going to say this. The message is very clear. It's quieting the mind within tall tales, or quieting the mind behind tall tales, because there are a lot of tall tales that are happening. There's a lot of illusion, right? And I'm going to show you that. Well, I can show it to you right now because I'm going to show it to you just as it came up. They're both throat chakra cards, which are expression cards, right? Quieting the mind, and the tall tales was upside down. Quieting the mind is what needs to be done in our expressions, in our throat chakra. As the Blue Jays are singing out, they represent communication. Quieting the mind is what needs to be done with all that may be coming up, with all that may be resurfacing, because there are things that are resurfacing that we need to handle. And this new moon is really giving us that opportunity. This new moon at 28 degrees, moon and sun at 28 degrees. For those who don't understand what the new moon is when they come into alignment, right? In opposition, they're in opposite, right? On a full moon, they're in opposition. Now they come into alignment, and it is an opportune time for seeding and manifesting that which you want to bring forth. And so with expression, it's showing that there's a lot of tall tales, and it came out upside down. Like when I saw it, it was like, whoa, quieting the mind within the tall tales, quieting the mind behind or within, whichever way it speaks to you, but quieting the mind after these tall tales. What these tall tales are for us are very different. Some people are looking for obvious lies. It may not be so obvious, because we need to go deep and understand what are the illusions that we have been under, what are the delusions and the illusions that we have been under. And you hear the bird is just singing out. I'm also hearing sing for joy. This is not a sad song. This is not a sad time. Let the nightingale sing within you. Let the joy ring through you, even as chaos is coming up from within the midst. Right? It is things that may be happening to bring you through you and to you. And this is what they want us to understand. We have to clear our channels. We have to get out and ground. This is why grounding is very important. Open up the soles of your feet, bare feet on the ground, so that you are having a deep communication with the earth. You don't even have to know the words. You don't have to say, you just have to have a full intention in your heart to be ready to release and to be willing to accept. This heart chakra season, we're in a heart chakra season now, and it is about acceptance. We are being asked, this fluorite represents all upper chakras from the heart going up. It's not just green. It may look green like the heart, but it also has, if I hit it in the right spot of the sunlight, you will see the blue to the indigo to the crown. This is for all upper chakras. Ashe. So this is a heart expansion moment. We're being asked to go into our higher heart so that we can be expressive in right position with expressions with the throat chakra, so that we can quiet the mind from all these chaotic thoughts and feelings, the incoherencies, the inconsistencies, and we can move beyond the tall tales. Ashe. And so the message that was coming through, let me get back to the communication, to the translation. Everything is information. So what was being channeled at that time was for me to convey, for me to share with you that everything in us is information. Energy is synonymous with light and information. So the information that is coming through us, the energy that is channeling through us, the cosmic messenger that is coming through our system, our solar system, the information that is being charged within our sun that is giving off solar flares, more information. Everything is information, just like how we say everything is energy. And the problem with not having clear channels is we misinterpret. Everything is translate through us according to our interpretation. So no matter what information is out there and around us, it is channeled through you via your interpretation. There's no way around that. So we have to clear our channels so that we can understand clear information, so we can understand the information that is coming through in its purest form and its purest light, minus your misinterpretations, minus our misinterpretations based on translation through these misinterpretations. So when we clear these channels, when we allow acceptance of the love frequency to flow, and we remove the blockages of the illusion of separation, no matter what it may be, it is time for us to come into a oneness with a lot. It's asking us to remove whatever these blockages are. And so going real deep, let me get to this point as the channel came. Okay, I'm asking, can you bring that back to me as I sat in that particular moment, because it was that important that it said, this is the message that needs to be conveyed. What is being misinterpreted? Okay, so during this particular energetic exchange with Mercury and Mars, and some of you may be feeling it, there is an intensity of sexual energy with Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. Scorpio being deep, deep emotions, the emotional body, the waters. The element of Scorpio is water, and the waters also are the element of the sacral chakra. So this is all interrelative and interconnected. And why it was brought to me, because it was showing me how those who may not understand may misinterpret the information that comes through as sexual energy, which is really creativity. So when it comes to the sacral chakra, it has a lot to do with creativity, and it is also the zone or the area of sexuality. Creativity and sexuality goes hand in hand. A lot of information that is being translated, that is being sent through us to us, is to unlock the paths and the codes of creativity, to allow true creativity, creative activity to flow through us. Creative activity is also masculine energy. and it is the execution of things in manifestation. It does not work by itself without receptive activity, which is the feminine energy, which is the instructions, which is intuition and information. So there is a harmony between the two that brings forth manifestation. Ashe? So why I'm saying this is because what many may misconstrue as high intense sexual maybe urges, or if this is all information, understand what I'm saying is not, this is not to be talked about in a lower or lower density form. um, this sexuality, which is and equals to creative activity, is information being transferred in us and through us. So some may feel heightened senses of vibrational sensations, frequency, things of the sort, and it may be misinterpreted as simply wanting, let's say, sex from a counterpart, another counterpart, or even with self. Whether this is with a counterpart or with self, it is highlighting that this is information. Dear ones, please not get this confused. This is all information, and it's no different than when we misconstrue cravings of food, is how it was explained to me. It's no different of how those of you who have been in my workshop in Detox to Detach, this is how it was brought to me, and they were showing me, just as you explain how cravings in the body, we crave food because we do not pay attention to the information in the mind, and because we neglect it in the mind, it shows up in the body as a craving for some type of food in the body. That is the misinterpretation. That is the translation. That's how we translate it, because we are in our lower density form of information and misunderstanding. So we don't understand the higher frequencies of what is being truly translated through us. So we then all of a sudden desire some food. Keep in mind, as I've said to those in the detox and those who know, food is information. Our body only needs it because we need certain information in a certain way, because we do not know how to receive the information through the higher sensories, through the higher frequencies. So it comes into our lower density forms, and therefore the body will crave certain things, right? And so it was being said to me that as it is with food, and feel free, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to go ahead and put them in, because that's why we're doing this live. This would be the time to ask what you need to ask, as it's a channeled awareness. This, so it is with food, as it was said to me, is so it is with sexuality in the body. The body craves, or will misinterpret, will receive the message, the information as sexuality, because that is the mode through which the vibrations are coming through. It's really creative activity, but if you can't read the information as creative activity in the form that it is coming through, when we interpret it, because this is all energy. Energy has how do you say, it's like energy has no words. Like, we are the ones that put words to things, and so the energy is what it is. It is what it is. Creativity, sexuality, it is synonymous. It is one and the same. But when it is misread, when it is misinterpreted, we are getting information, and these are heightened frequencies. Remember, as Atlas, as our cosmic messenger is passing through, as we are having a high cosmic event with the new moon in Libra, as well as other aspects like the grand water trine that is happening with this new moon, information is definitely being dispersed. And so how we receive it is depending on our channels, depending on our vessel. So it was highlighting, please do not get this confused. For those who may be feeling this, you may think that it is a sexual urge, but it is really a creative urge. And there has to be a purge of the misinterpretations of the sexual urge in order to have clarity of the creation that we emerge, the creative activity that is emerging. That information wants to come through. So it's a matter of having a maturation, a maturity, a level of maturity in the information that you are receiving. And as that information comes through, if you happen to feel the vibrations, if you happen to feel the surge of energy, lean into it with maturity. If there is some type of sexual release, it is saying to not be solely engulfed in the lustness of this energy, but to embrace the creative flow that is coming through it. It's being that we're in our human form, it may definitely come still through sexuality, but it's similar to Hinduism. It's similar to how they do tantric. Um, I'm hearing Karma Sutra for some reason. There was a movie that I watched a long time ago. It was like a Hindu movie, and this is how they activate certain informations. It is through sexuality that they activate certain flow of creativity. And I want to be careful when I say this, because some will still misconstrue and say, well, okay, we can just go on out there and, have an abundance of sex and think that that is going to be the answer, or use it for an excuse to be extremely explicitly and perversely sexual under the lies and disguise, and telling themselves that they are creating and that this is going to bring forth creativity. You cannot fool the energies. You cannot fool the frequencies. You cannot fool yourself. Your higher self knows what it is, and there has to be a true coherency. There has to be a true self-discipline in your energies that is allowing the flow. It's almost like the sexuality, when you allow it, is a release, and you allow the flow of this, because this is the flow of energy. Energy in motion is the waters, the grand water trine, and there is a flooding happening right now. It's almost as if understanding that there is a flood watch. Be on the watch out for the flooding, right? And if you feel this in whatever way, know that it is information channeling through. So getting the body out of the way, getting resistance out of the way, getting flesh out of the way, getting dark matter chatter out of the way, so that you can receive this high potency energy of information, not to be confused with perversions. So it's asking, it's sharing this, highlighting this, because in recognition of some may be feeling, even you just look at your behaviors and things like that, you may just be feeling more sexually inclined, and know that if you're feeling more sexually inclined, it's because you're feeling more creatively inclined, and creativity wants to come through you, right? And sometimes there may have to be some type of release. If it is, let it be. If there's one, if it is with self, let it be maturity. Let it be a mature release that is not chasing a lustful perversion. If it is with another, let it be with a counterpart that also is in higher vibrations. And how you can tell the difference, let me explain this, how you can tell the difference. Peace, love, and light, all the way from the UK. Hey, Manchester United. You know that I know about I'm a what they call football. They call soccer, but it's football. I'm a football person. Not that I'm such a big fan watcher right now, but that's what came to mind. Manchester United. United we stand, and divided we will fall. So this is a time for unity, the unity frequency. Ashe. And I was going to say something. Bring it back, Spirit. It felt like it was important. How we can know the difference. Yes, Ashe. How we can know the difference of being able to separate. Remember, we are also in the influx of wisdom, the Sophia wisdom that has been rising intensely since the Halls of Amenti 88 Lions Gateway, that is still definitely happening. So we really have to identify with the wisdom to know the difference between the two. So how can you know the difference? You will feel sensations and vibrations. If you are being led through the mind, it is going to be on lust and perversions. If you are being led by energy, meaning you may feel certain pulsations even in your root area, your root and your sacral area, which is the area of your genitals, of your masculine, feminine, physical, reproductive parts, whatever you want to call them. You may feel vibrations in that area. You may feel a vibration like all over you that even goes back to that area. And it is not to be mistaken for being, let's say, horny, like, oh my God, I'm just feeling like this is vibrational. When you feel it coming in that way, then you know you are being vibrationally led into this information, into making a clear pathway for this information. And you do so with acceptance. You do so with grace, and you allow this energy to come past you, through you, flow through you. Ashe. Um, if it is led through your mind, if you're doing everything intellectually, meaning you could be taking this information and say, oh, I got to go create, or I got to find something to get sexual with. If you're looking for it through intelligence, through intellect, then that is not the way. That is not what it is. So feeling the vibrations and then leaning into the vibrations, if that is for you, particularly at this time, and allowing the flow of it. So don't block it with intellect either. If you feel it, don't block yourself and saying, no, this can't be. Allow it to be what it is. If you have a partner, be willing to listen to the timing of what is happening. If they're coming through at that particular time, if they are leaning in that particular way and leaning into the vibrations, they are also being sent at that particular time to aid in this unlocking of the flow tantrically, so through the sacral chakra. So it's to understand how this information is flowing through us, and I wanted to be clear with that channel because it came just as that, and it was said in that way, that this is information to be channeled through as creativity. No different than when the body needs information, and we misconstrue it for food. So again, do not misinterpret it, or I don't like to tell people what not to do, but simply understand so we can see the difference. So if you sense something, if you feel something, you know what to do with it. You know what to lean into. Ashe? No different from when a perverted mind sees another person naked and interprets that nakedness perversely. Exactly. And I know you wrote that earlier. I had to get out whatever I was getting out at that point. Yes, it's no different than that. And that's how you can tell the difference between the perversions. If it's something that you see with your eyes and it tantalizes your flesh, because your flesh is programmed to a certain type of perversions, right? And I'm not saying nakedness is perverse. I'm not saying sexuality is perverse. Obviously not, because sexuality is creativity. This is healthy. Sexuality and sensuality opens the flow for creativity. When you block it, you also block the flow of creativity. Right? There's a balance to it. It's also not to be misused and abused, that through programmed thinking and programmed feelings, that when you see something, it triggers, oh, I gotta have this. That when it triggers the lust, then that is a difference. So it's not, I see this and I need to have this. It's more of allowing, it's a feeling. It's allowing the frequencies and allowing the energies. And so with this Mars and Mercury aspect, it's kind of intensifying intense feelings, which can be misconstrued through sexuality. So that is definitely what needed to be conveyed. There's so much more that is happening with the aspects, and I'm gonna do a video about new moon, the new moon energy and the aspects that play a part, like the sextiles and sex tiles, right? The tiles of sex. Trines and sextiles usually represent a harmony, and there is a sextile between Pluto and Neptune, and also one between Neptune and Uranus. Neptune being the commonality in the middle person, I call it the middleman, um, which also means that there is a trine, a wider angle between Pluto and Uranus. And I'll get more into that when I share that video about the new moon and the aspects. Um, but what else is to note is we are, as I said, in the heart chakra season. This fluorite definitely helps with the upper chakras. And one of the messages I was getting today also is allowing the heart to open up as we expand in our heart. For those who are moving deeper into the heart, who are allowing their soul ascension to lead them into the northward trajectory of North Node in Pisces, is very much heart expansion, as we are still working through this ecliptic path that we're on, that our cosmic messenger is on this ecliptic path and activating. So heart expansion is very much a part of it while we're in this particular heart chakra season. And so it's to carry up what is in the heart into the crown, right? Into the higher aspects of ourselves, our higher selves and our crown. And you can check this out for yourself. It's moving the energy in the opposite direction of the way it is given, as it comes from the ethers into the earth. And what do I mean by that? If you check it out yourself, you can put up your phone into any light. Particularly, I would use the natural light. If you put your phone to the sun, you will see. You know what? Matter of fact, let's see if I can share this with you all right now. I'm gonna do it with this. And you will see a light that is coming from purple into green, right? So let me see if I can hit the light right. You have to really get the light in a particular angle. I probably can't get it right now. Come on, now let's play light codes. It usually, and I'm not directly in the light, so it's not doing it. I'm like under the trees. Okay, maybe right there. The light just hit me in my eye. Like, you want some light? Here you go. Here you go. Okay, it's not doing it right now. So, but I invite you, when you get into the light, if you can set it a certain way, set it a certain angle where the light rays are coming right your way, and you'll see a light coming from the crown. You'll see a purple. And then you'll see the green if you tilt the phone like back and forth. Like, you got to kind of play with the light rays a little bit. And if you do that, you'll see the green coming from it. Let me see. It's like Spirit is telling me get up. All right, if I get up and find the right light. Woo, bright light. And then, you know what? Maybe I have to be against the light. Okay, maybe you see it that way. The light has to come this way. If the light is behind you, which is usually how I do it, it's just not hitting it right now. I don't know if you can, and then I'm blinded by the light, so I don't know if you can see it. For anyone who may see it, you may have to let me. Okay, wait, I see a beam. I'm working with it. Y'all work with me. I'm doing my best to get the light to show you. It happens when I'm not trying. You all will see it in other videos where I'm playing with the light, and you can see the light coming in and out. So what you'll see is you'll see the purple above, and then you'll see a green. It just as I tilt it. Okay, you see how you can see that orb? There it is, right there. I'm getting a little bit of it. So if you tilt your phone in the light, you'll see a green coming from it, just like you see that orb kind of that just came from there. There we go. There we go. That green right there. Oh, thank you, light codes. That green right there coming from, you will usually see purple around the source of where it's coming from. Ashe? So you'll see purple, and then if you tilt the phone back and forth, you'll see a green coming out of it, back and forth. Thank you for the green heart. That means you see it. That's the best I can get it. So you can play with the light in that way. And why am I saying this and sharing this with you? Is because purple, now this is chakra work. All right, you saw it. Thank you for letting me know. Because I'm like, I'm doing my best. I'm not trying. Triers are for liars. I was doing my best to get it in. Ashe. So why am I saying that? It's because, let me go chakra talk right now. Phone is tilted. Um, with the chakras, okay, go back. Got to get the phone back right. Coming from the crown, this is our uppermost higher self. So we come from source. So you're going to see the purple because that's source coming into earth, into the heart. You're always going to see purple and green if you play with the light like that. Green represents the heart chakra. It represents us. Green is the bridge. Green is the earth. Heart is earth and earth is heart. The planet Earth is the one that correlates to our heart chakra, because each planet correlates to an energy center. Ashe? So you'll see the green coming from the crown. So why am I saying that? Because what's happening right now as we expand in our heart frequency, and this crystal will help you do what I'm explaining to you now, the fluorite, which is for the upper chakras. And it's going to bring forth that understanding in the heart chakra. We want to expand that heart capacity. And in this heart expansion, we're carrying the green back into the, just like how you saw the green going up and down. When it's coming down, it's coming from the crown. It's coming from source. It's coming from the ethers. When it's going up, it's coming from us, from the earth, back into the ethers. So this heart expansion is helping us to channel, those of us who tap into this heart expansion, we're channeling back up. We're going from the heart capacity, frequency, into the crown. That's what this heart expansion is doing. It's helping to carry us into our higher selves. The three upper chakras are the most spiritual aspect. It is the higher self. So throat, third eye, crown. It's carrying us back into the crown. That's what this heart expansion is saying. Ultimately, as we work through the ecliptic path, as our cosmic messenger brings us through the ecliptic path, as it helps to ascend and uplift through taking us into the north node in Pisces, which is back to the newt, returning us back to the newt. All of this is one and the same. It's bringing us into one mind consciousness. We're expanding into, this is what the fifth dimension is, the love frequency, the unity frequency. So all of this is pretty much synonymous, and it's layers to it. Ashe? So I share that with you so we understand, overstand, and understand what is happening. So as I'm explaining, going from the heart to the crown, this is why this crystal here would be ideal with working with it. It doesn't have to be this big. It can be a little piece. If maybe it's already been calling to you. For those of you who this resonates with, if you've been seeing this or the word fluorite, or it's just been coming up to you, it's the heart expansion that has been calling itself through you, right? Let me see what say. It's the frequency, yes, as well. It is your frequency, Ashe. That I think it says appear. Yes, that appears. So it's your frequency that helps it to appear. Ashe, thank you for that. So you got to be in the right space. Everything is like energy, location, frequency, where you're standing, like where I'm standing in position to the light. So how we're positioning ourselves to the light codes is very important. So thank you for sharing that as a reminder. How you position yourselves is where you are going to receive all light codes that is coming from source, our galactic center, from which our cosmic messenger is hailing from, that is coming through our solar system. Everything that is being given onto us right now um, is coming through, but according to you, according to your frequencies. And that's why I'm talking about grounding, and that's why I was explaining the channeled message that was coming through about not confusing sexuality with creativity, or actually rather knowing that it's not separate but it's one and the same, and to not misconstrue it, to lose the translation of information in its purest form by being inundated with misappropriated thoughts with and it's not done purposefully, right? This is why we have to clear our channels. It's according to our frequency, as you said, which is according to the true heart vibrations that we hold, which is according to our intel, our processors, the way we process things, the way we understand things, the way we interpret things, the way we internalize things. So childhood traumas that are unresolved play a part. Um, this is also a part of what they want us to understand, because we have to understand that we can't skip this process. There's no such thing as you're just going to take in all of this knowledge, right? Because a lot of people misconstrue that. No matter how much knowledge you know, no matter how much information you're getting, you're only as strong as your weakest link. I've always said that, and I stand by that. What does that mean? That means if you have another weak link from years ago, from childhood, and I'm going to say as far back as other past life trauma, because there's karma trauma, and we're all being brought into a space where we can clear that up. Everything that's happening right now is helping us to clear deep-seated trauma that is not just from this lifetime. Ashe, but if you get it done in this life, if you can clear up all the way up to childhood, you're clearing up a big chunk of it. But it is as far back to past life trauma. So whatever weak fences you have, you're only going to be as strong as your weakest link. So when the hour comes, you won't be able to, it's not even so much of, oh, when the hour comes, you're going to fall. When the hour comes for you to channel the right message, for you to be a true transmitter, and for you to translate the true message in its purest form, it's going to be hard to do that when you have blockages. I call them spots in the body, in the mind-body complex, when you have pain in the body. So the pain body screams louder than the light codes that you want to come through. Those are the blockages. So this light, these light codes that's coming through for everybody, as the cosmic messenger passes through our entire earth, it's here for everybody. But who's going to be able to receive it is determined by your level of what you are releasing, what you are letting go, what you are allowing to release from you, what you are willing to face, what you are willing to have accountability for in order to have true transcendence, because you cannot transcend without true accountability for how you show up. So moving away from victim mentality, whatever it may be, you may truly be the victim of a crime, but it's to move away from the victimhood in the mind. It's to empower yourself and know that you are not that story. And the ego that wants to spin a narrative to protect that story has to be done away with. This is the maturation. You no longer need aggression. You no longer need that type of protection. And when we understand, overstand, and understand that, we remove the blockages in our vessels. We allow the water to turn on and flow through. Just as I was explaining to my little ones, when you turn on the water, when you turn on the pipe and the water flows through, that's what it's like when you clear these blocks inside of you. When you allow the things that come up, well, try, do this. I don't even want to say try, because as I said, triers are for liars. Do this. If anything is coming up for you, welcome it. Rather than putting up a resistance, because what you resist will persist, rather than resisting it or saying, I'm too good for it, or I'm above this, or no, it's coming up for a reason. Face it. Face it and find what it means to you so that you can truly release it. Find where you have accountability in it rather than disagreeing with it, rather than having an aversion to it, regardless of how uncomfortable it is, regardless of whatever the reason you may give it that may be right in your eyes. We're not looking to be right now. We're looking to be true. Right? And allow these energies to flow through. So when you do that, when you stand in that presence of the now moment and you allow your heart to expand, you allow the love frequency, you allow your fluorite to bring you through all upper chakras, to bring you into the heart for understanding, through true expression in the throat for insight, because the highest form of the throat is insight, to bring you into the third eye, to trusting your intuition. When you gain clarity and insight, you trust your intuition, which is the highest form of your third eye next to wisdom, bringing you into the crown, into your wisdom. And that wisdom is what is going to carry you, the wisdom to know the difference between the two, the wisdom that will carry you through, the wisdom that opens up to total connectivity and allows the ever-living water of the water bearer to pour life into you and flood through you. So during this grand water trine, allow the flood to clear your mind. Ashe. Work on the Anja chakra. Yes, the third eye. Right? We can work on all chakras, definitely. Especially the upper chakras, the third eye. But one of the things I'd like to add too when it comes to the chakras, because some people will just jump into the third eye, but they're not ready. You have to work on other chakras so that that third eye can handle the insight, can handle the clarity that you allow to come through. Because again, even that, you can fall into delusions, with delusions of grandeur in your third eye, because you haven't worked through the lower chakras. So a lot of times people have to go back to the root. Speaking of the root, thank you for that. 7-7, that's manifestation. So I'm going to say it to the 7 right here, right now. We have a root chakra, 3-day root chakra workshop that will be this weekend, Friday, starting on Friday. Why? Because Friday is a root heart day, which resonates with our messenger, who was seen as red before they saw it as green. And as the colors spoke to me, I saw red and green, which means from the root into the heart, coming from the root of us, of where we come from, meaning from the galactic center into the earth. So it's very ideal, very on point that I start on Friday as it was shown to me. It's going to be 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is really to help those really understand the root at a deep level. We're going to be solely focused on the root, and we're going to be working on 3 eyes, which is integrate. It is, now I forgot the other eye, incubate, and then integrate. Identify, incubate, and integrate. And we're going to break that down. There are 3 parts to each one. So we'll be working on 1 each day. Identify on the first day, incubate on the second day, and integrate on the third day. And all of this having to do with the root. So this is, if you haven't been to any other workshop, please, you may want to step up for this one. With all that is happening right now, with the frequencies changing, with our cosmic messenger passing through, with next month, Scorpio being the house, the Sekhmet month, and the retrograde house, where we're going to have a lot of retrogrades. We're going to have a whole, let's say, stellium, 3 or more planets is a stellium, so a stellium worth of planets in retrograde in Sekhmet. So it's going to be a deep, I want to call it deep tissue issues, like deep tissue massage in your, like, this is it. I don't know which other way to say it. This is it. Like I said earlier, last call. This is it. This is the final opportunity to be able to break illusions with Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces. It's not going to be there again. This is an opportunity to break illusions, not just of this lifetime, but through multiple past lives. It's giving you an opportunity to break certain traumas in your karmic imprint over lifetimes within this timeline. Ashe, and now I see the 9-9, the number 9, right? So there is a spiritual completion that is happening. And for those who it resonates to, know it to be true for you. Be honest and show up for you. So reach out to me if this is for you. We'll also be doing an update tomorrow. I need to remember to remind this on my new moon video, but I'm saying this to you now. For those of you who want to meet, we have a group of us starseeds that ever since Halls of Amenti, we said we'll be meeting once a month. This will be the meeting for October, or rather for the house of Ma'at. For the house of Libra, the month of Ma'at, for those of you who have the 5D calendars, in the month of Ma'at, this will be our meeting tomorrow. As tomorrow, I believe, is the last day, we'll be in Libra. We'll be in Ma'at before we shift into Scorpio, aka Sekhmet. So tomorrow, if this is for you, if you're ready, for those of you who are already in the group, in the Starseed Connection or in the Divine Chakra group, anywhere in one of our WhatsApp communities, feel free to message me there, or you can email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. We will have a update meeting. This will be a reflective update meeting. Since we're meeting at the end of the month, it's going to be reflective. And I'll let you know when further meetings will be each month. So this is the first of our monthly meetings that we'll be having. Even if you haven't been here in a while, if this resonates with you, you may definitely want to be at this update reflective meeting so we can see what has been happening and what is ahead of us. And I'll share more information with you all, and we'll be in a more intimate setting where you can ask more questions, and we can just share. We can light up. Those of us who are lighting up on the light grid, lighthouses that we are, it is time for us to connect more with our soul tribe community. So this is also that opportunity to find what group you align with, right? Because everybody may not be all together, but you will find who really aligns with you, and you'll be able to let's say pair off into smaller groups. And that's something that I've been seeing. All of us will be able to meet once a month, but those who really click and pair up together, and I don't mean in cliques like that, but you know what I mean, soul groups, soul families, you'll be able to meet in smaller groups, particularly groups of 3s, and I'll explain that to you as we're in the meeting. So tomorrow, share this with someone if you know it's for them, or you can just share with them the information and invite them to the meeting. It's open to all of you, all starseeds that would like to, as well as the workshop. And I strongly advise, impress, inspire you to step into the workshop, the 3-day workshop, because it's really going to be starting at the root. And we're going to do one from now to December. We're starting at the root, and then sometime in November we're going to do another 3-day one on the sacral. So this is given an opportunity for all of you to catch up, because I was being guided to do the solar plexus alone ever since summer, but for some reason Spirit has had it put on me where I need to go back to the root, because there are some people who missed that, and you're going to need that information from the root and the sacral to build into the solar plexus, so you'll be able to be right where you have the best advantage to work through that solar plexus. And that's where a lot of us are getting the hit in our identity body. So we're going to build up to the solar plexus. So this gives you, at those of you who have never had the root, I've only done it once, the root and the sacral, about a year or two ago. So this is given that opportunity to go right back, start at the root of it all, the foundation. So that is strongly suggested as well. Ashe, ashe. Let me see what else we have here. Yes, I saw that one. Work the Anja. Yes, it happened to me like that. Same time. Yep. Thought I was going nuts. Hey, Tyrone. I'm just seeing that, y'all. That is you. Forgive me, because the sun is in my eye. And on top of that, I do not have the glasses out here. So forgive me if I skip something. 40 days in the desert. Yep. Got to fight off the lower self in order for the higher self to take full control. Ashe. Yep. Keep the 42 laws of Ma'at. Ashe, ashe. And I wasn't even looking at the 40 days, but it looks like, is this 40 days? Yeah, it looks like there may be some type of, if I look at what's happening within the month and a half, from like October going all the way through November, from Ma'at into Sekhmet, it may very well be a 40-day type of Lent season, allowing us to work on what we need to work on. And speaking more, let me scroll up, speaking more about the detox, to detach, giving us an opportunity to detach where we need to, because I've had good reviews on that as well. I haven't done the detach since April, but it was said that thankfully, because of the detach, they were able to it really helped them with these other frequencies and helping them to handle it, because you learn how to detach. And in that detox to detach, that's when we learned about the foods that I explained earlier, about how the foods are information, and knowing that when you're hungry, the body is craving something because you didn't give the mind what it needed. And so understanding that helps you to pay attention, that when the information comes, rather than just running to feed the flesh, the food, you go to the mind, you go to the consciousness, and you ask, what is it that I'm feeling? And you feed the mind by addressing the feeling that is coming up. And because that emotion is not being addressed, it shows up in the body as whatever this type of craving is. And so it is with sexuality, as I mentioned earlier. So because you don't understand in the lower density form, you don't understand the information, when the information is coming through, it gets misconstrued through sexuality or sexual information. The body says it needs sexuality, but really it is the spirit, it is the soul spirit body that is craving the information. That is, I'm not even going to say craving, only the body craves, but it is the spirit that is looking for the passage of creativity, of information through creativity and the flow of it. So I'm bringing it back to that, because that was the ultimate message. And this is what we understand when we detach, and we learn how to detach from the physical, not doing away with the physical, but being able to detach from the misappropriations and the bonds, the programming, the matrix, whatever you want to call it, in the physical, and being able to have healthy processing, have a healthy intel system. Remember, we are computers. We are technology in and of itself. We are cosmic technology, and our intel system needs to be cleared. We need to have strong processors in order to process this fifth density light. Ashe? So I'm going to leave that there. I've said a healthy amount. Sharing with you this fluorite. Get you one if you see one. If there's any questions, any comments right before I go, I will give this that time. I've answered, I know a few commented to those in here. So before I go, thank you, Tyrone, for showing up. Thank you. I can't see the other word, but I thank you for your information too. 40 days, 40 nights. I don't know if it's C. Marie. I see a C. Thank you, Clay. Anyone else who is coming through? Do you have any questions? Do you have any comments? Does any of this resonate? Who's ready for the root chakra? The root chakra workshop. And tomorrow's update reflection. Love you too. You are welcome. Love and light to you all. Oh, there's is that? Oh, Claudette. I see Claudette. I did see you earlier. Thank you, Claudette. Understand. Thank you so much. I return much love and light, infinite love, divine light to all of you, to surround you during all of these times. So if any of this resonates with you and you want more, please feel free to email me and to sign up for our update, our reflection update tomorrow, and sign up for the Root Chakra 3-day workshop. It is definitely going to be helpful. Ashe. At Akila Textry, AKILAHTEXTRI at gmail.com. And you can always find the email on any one of the videos in the description as well. Ashe, peace, love and light. Happy new moon in Libra.